Displays a 48V e-bike controller with various labeled wiring connections. This type of controller is commonly used for brushless motors in electric bicycles or scooters, specifically a 48V 1800W model as suggested by the associated text. Here's a detailed description of the components and their connections. Controller unit. The main component is a silver rectangular box, which is the 48V 1800W brushless motor controller itself. This unit houses the electronics that manage power delivery to the motor, speed control, and other functions. Wiring connections, from left to right approximately. Positive power line. A thick red wire indicating the main positive power input to the controller, likely from a 48V battery. Negative power line. A thick black wire indicating the main negative power input to the controller, also from the battery. Inputs/outputs from the controller's wiring harness. Speed indicator. A set of wires, typically with a connector, that would connect to a display or LED indicator to show the current speed. Charger port. Wires with a connector for connecting a battery charger, allowing the battery to be recharged through the controller system. Throttle grips. A set of wires with a connector that interfaces with the throttle mechanism, twist grip or thumb throttle. This input signals the desired speed to the controller. Key ignition switch. Wires with a connector for an on-off switch, typically a key switch, to power the e-bike system on or off. Two-speed. A pair of wires with a connector, likely for a switch that allows the user to select between two different speed modes, eco mode and sport mode. Forward-reverse. Wires with a connector for a switch to control the direction of the motor, forward or reverse, which is less common on e-bikes but can be found on electric scooters or utility vehicles. Hall. This refers to the Hall sensor wires, typically a 5-wire connector, plus 5V, G and D, and 3 signal wires for U, V, W phases. These sensors are inside the brushless motor and provide feedback on the rotor's position to the controller for efficient commutation. Indicator light. Wires with a connector for an indicator light, which could be for various purposes, like power on, fault indication, or headlight. Brake light. Wires with a connector specifically for connecting a brake light, which illuminates when the brakes are applied. Brake. Wires with a connector for the brake levers. These wires typically send a signal to the controller to cut motor power when the brakes are engaged and often activate regenerative braking if supported. Motor line. These are the 3 main thick wires, often green, blue, yellow, that connect directly to the 3-phase windings of the brushless motor. These carry the high current to drive the motor. In summary, the image provides a comprehensive wiring diagram for a 48V brushless motor controller detailing all the essential connections required for an e-bike or similar electric vehicle application.